Hey, it's Scarlett Johansson, and we have been hard at work on the new film Ghost in the Shell. We are finally ready to give you a look at it. I'm thrilled to have been given the opportunity to play the Major, and I'm so excited to be able to show you a glimpse into her world. I hope you enjoy this special look at Ghost in the Shell.
Ghost in the Shell is based on the famous anime by the same title. Rupert Sanders is really a visionary director. He's got a very strong eye.
The anime, to me, has a certain feeling to it. To see that world imagined is pretty spectacular.
And at the same time, we are looking to bring something new to this interpretation of the manga, something that is respectful, but at the same time, a welcome addition to the world of Ghost in the Shell.
Rupert has completely created an homage to the manga, to the anime, for the fans. It's really been all-encompassing, empowering, and badass to bringing this anime to life.
I was so in love with the anime color, which felt very subtle and original, so I programmed my lights to be able to replicate those colors.
There are many challenges when you move from an anime film into live action. That's something that Rupert and his design team spent hours and weeks and months designing. Our film is set probably about 50 years in the future in this futuristic Asian city. It's very true to the anime. There's a very unique tone to it. It's grounded. It has one foot in reality, let's say, and another in the future.
The purpose of concept art is to get the directors and production designers and everyone's kind of creative vision in a piece of art that we can then use to create the vision in the world.
Rupert Sanders has an exact idea of what he wants in this universe.
It's in a kind of retro future, in a way, a world of many creeds and races, where everyone's enhanced, a world where your eyes are enhanced so you see the world differently.
They went to Hong Kong as well and they took a lot of street photos. That's a big part of the concept here, was the background street characters, and they're quite special to Rupert.
Rupert is really a visionary, and he has completely created a very unique and captivating idea of what the future could be.
I could feel his passion, and he really cared about this anime, and also his direction.
It's understandable that when you make a science fiction, future-thinking world, you're going to turn to digital animation, CG technology, as much as possible to try and create the slickness and the sophisticated, refined quality of imagery.
We will use previs instead of storyboards.
Previs is kind of like the video game version of the movie. It's a way that, with a very small crew, the producers and the director can get a sense of what the shots are going to look like well ahead of time.
広角機動隊の1本目と2本目の監督をした押井守と言います。
Oshii, who made the anime, came to visit us in production to see that world imagined. It's pretty spectacular.
The scale of it is so baked in from the beginning. It's very true.
スカーレット・ヨハンセンの元子を一本通して最後まで見てみたい。僕が想像した以上に役になってると思う。 間違いなく今まで作られた広角の中で一番ゴージャスな作品になると思う。
We've developed all of the geishas and their various masks and animatronics and bodies and various explosion rigs and damage. You've got to manufacture almost everything. You can't buy almost anything off the shelf.
I think the overall style started with Rupert, who's super visual.
I think for actors it's such a big part of what they're doing. You know, they always say when they step into the wardrobe, it finally kind of, they become a character.
From the very beginning, we wanted to do something that was both honoring the original source material, but also super distinctive and memorable.
One of our key costumes was the geishas. We wanted them to feel traditional, but we also wanted to kind of use untraditional materials.
One of the really traditional elements of a kimono, like geishas wear, is their obi, their belt. We wanted to take the traditional obi methodology, but incorporate our own motif on it, which was like this circuitry and kind of following the same kind of panels that are in the face.
There was a lot of design talking about whether this would be like a silicone mask or whether it was going to be a hard mask, and we ended up doing a hard mask and hard hair, which I think was really, really beautiful in the end.
Every time you shoot with the geisha, they're entombed in hard-shelled masks which have fans in the hair pieces and vents at the back. It's really a terrifying character.
We're shooting a shelling sequence that is very iconic from the anime and from the manga, where the Major's character comes to life.
Everything you see of the skeleton in the shelling sequence is the real skeleton. So we did as much practically as we could.
This is the Major's skeleton. This is actually Scarlett's height, so that was one of the first things we did, was find out how tall Scarlett was and then scale the model to her. So because we had such fantastic designs up front, we were able to go through and basically break this down into all its different components. And I think there ended up being about 1,400 individual pieces, and they all need to mesh together and fit together perfectly. We've essentially created an internal skeleton and then basically put a muscle layer around the outside of that.
You should just do like a slow track.
We had another body as well that we brought out of a white liquid, and that was really the skin layer that went over top. So it's all about adding these layers and watching the layers build up through the process. The actual shelling sequence is one of the ultimate moments in Ghost in the Shell, so getting the opportunity to actually be a part of this has been massive.
The thermoptic suit is really, it's sort of like a second skin, and it allows her to become invisible. Of course, everything that goes along with, I mean, it's a tool that she uses to be offensive.
She's so kind of powerful and sexual, and she's non-human, and she's machine, that it's very intoxicating.
Atmen. So ist es gut. Hast du irgendwelche Erinnerungen an den Anschlag? Was ist passiert? Es gab einen Anschlag von Terroristen. Wieso kann ich meinen Körper nicht spüren? Nur dein Körper wurde beschädigt. Wir konnten ihn nicht retten. Wir haben dir einen neuen gebaut. Aber dein Bewusstsein, deine Seele, dein Ghost, der ist noch in dir. Du bist die erste deiner Art, Mira. Bitte, stellen Sie sie ruhig.
This film is really about the journey of self-discovery for the character.
Scarlett did bring so much to it. She's really inhabited the role, the hidden anger, hidden humanity. She really became the Major.
Scarlett's character has an ability to adapt herself with any situation.
It wouldn't be Ghost in the Shell without crazy fight sequences, gunplay. It's really been something else.
The fighting on this and the action is a balancing act between keeping the sensibilities of what she can do without making it too superhero-ish.
The Major is this extraordinary fighter.
Because the physicality is such an important part of this character, I've been really married to the idea of being able to do everything.
When she puts on that suit, she can at will become invisible.
The thermoptic, again, very iconic to the film. So we shot the sequence and we just basically erased Major from it and just used kind of disturbance in place, because you want to get a feeling that she's there, but you don't want her to be completely invisible.
To try a lot of really new ideas and new techniques that we've been playing with, and I think that's really come together to make it very uniquely different in the action.
This experience has been like nothing else I've ever had before. It's a ride, for sure.